Good afternoon, everyone. The French wine-producing areas of Champagne and Burgundy down almost 8% in production due to the cold weather and hail. That's 5.9 billion bottles. Leaves are shriveled after the cold and wet damage. Fungal disease and mildew, gray rot. These are the areas on the map. This follows right on the heels of Austria losing 13% of its production this year due to frost damage as well in the eastern areas. At the same time, the apricot production was down 30%. The cherries were decimated 80% across Europe. Now we have the FAO coming out saying that the food prices have risen 4.2%. And that would be sugar up 15%, meat up 2.4%, corn up 2.9%, and dairy up almost 8%. With all the cold and unusual hail, raining, flooding through France over the last couple of months, you can only expect that their agriculture would be damaged. French wheat production dropping 10%. Rain-soaked, soggy conditions are just decimating everything. 38% above normal rainfall levels. Frost damage in the leaves, but not only that, there's fungal disease and mildew and gray rot. Beaujolais losing 23% of its production, along with the rest of the country down 8%. You know, that's almost 6 billion bottles of wine. Areas here on the map so you can see where exactly we're talking about. This matches up exactly with what the little ice age will entail, where every red dot will be cooler and every yellow dot will be wetter. Staying in France, the Tour de France had so much freezing cold weather and high winds that they had to actually move one of the stages. The Géant de Provence had to move because of 125 kilometer per hour winds. That's 80 miles per hour and freezing conditions, literally at 0 Celsius. Now back to the wine. If you hadn't seen, Austria had lost 13% of its production. These are the areas and the amounts of wine lost. 13.07. The frost damage looks exactly the same as what's happening in France. But earlier, they had these late season storms come through in late spring, and all the fruit farmers had an incredibly difficult time across Europe. Austrian fruit farmers, 100 million euro losses. Apricot production down 30% across Europe. Cherries lost 80% of its entire production across Europe. Extreme weather actually enacted parliament in Austria to do special crop damage for the farmers. This is what the netting looked like, unusual hailstorms. And then the Dutch news coming out that June is the wettest ever recorded in the south. That's a 400-year record. Switzerland, 0.06 degree below normal from the 1981 to 2010 deviation. And this matches up again, the same map here. Everywhere it's a red dot, it's going to get cooler. Everywhere there's a yellow dot, it's going to rain more. June 24th. Incredible skies above Cern. Check out this purple lightning swirling in some tornado vortex type of thing directly above the Hadron Collider. If we jump back in the last 1,000 years of temperature and we look directly where Europe and the UK are, this band across that latitude is going to drop in temperature during this new grand solar minimum, mimicking something like happened in the late 1700s. You can read about history and really see what happened during that time frame across Europe. Jumping over to the FAO, food commodity prices up 4.2% in June. Sugar rising 14.8%. Cereal prices up almost 3%. Of course, that'll follow raising the meat price up 2.4%, as well as dairy almost doubling that up at 8%. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. As you can see, these grand solar minimum effects are now really starting to be felt and shown across the planet. As we go forward, this is the year that it's really going to start to cool in the winter of 2016-17. Next year, it's going to be a whole new ballgame in our food production globally. You are seeing just the tip of the iceberg of losses that are coming. We need to set all these differences aside. We need to work together. I don't care what religion you are or what skin color you are. We need to work together as a species to survive this. This distraction that's being fed in the media to get you to hate other people, It's just going to divide us further and cause larger population declines. Forget all that. It is a distraction. It is there on purpose. It is fake. We need to work together as people. Get over the bullshit that they're feeding you in the media, and we need to come together again as one spirit to one spirit.